Hello, friends. My name is Mona Peterson, and I am the director of the Adult Christian Education Ministry here at First Presbyterian Church. And I'd like you to welcome into this time together something that we like to call This One Thing, where we take one scripture text and really focus on one thing that drew us to it and inspired us, and apply that to our daily life, and hopefully that you will be inspired. Before I share that scripture text with you, I wanted to tell you about a funny story. Funny now. My husband and 3 children and I just got back from a ski vacation to Snowshoe in West Virginia. And it's been a few years since I skied, but the kids and my husband have skied the past couple years. So Caleb and Leah, my twins, Leah's a little daredevil, so she and my older son and my husband kind of trioed off, and then Caleb and I paired off. And they were all on the greens and blues and blacks, and Caleb and I were happy to be on the bunny slopes and the greens. And I remember getting on the slopes again for the first time. I was very unsteady. I felt like I had forgotten everything about skiing. These little teeny weenies were whizzing by me at like 50 miles an hour, and they were maybe 3 feet tall. So I really started to doubt myself, and I felt unsure and a little embarrassed that I wasn't doing any better. And while I was thinking that, I ended up falling, pretty embarrassingly so. So I thought, you know what, that's no way to get through this. I'm not going to compare myself to anybody else on the mountain. I'm going to do the best I can do and try and set a good example for Caleb, who is also struggling. And the day ended up going really well. We had fun. And the next day we split up again, and we were just having a great time and decided to take a different route. Unfortunately, we got on the wrong lift and ended up on a run that was not a green. I don't know what it was, and we were lost. And it was 4:30, which is when the mountains and the lifts closed. So the snowblowers had started, and we were kind of out there alone. And we saw lights of a snowmobile racing towards us. So we were told that the mountain was closed, that they would start a lift for us again to get out of there, and that we would be given a ride on the snowmobiles back to the lift that would take us to our village. So we happily got on and got a very private snowmobile tour back to our village. And funny enough, our room that looked over one of the slopes at night, we would see all the lights from the snowmobiles on the tour guide at night, and my kids would longingly kind of look out the window and wishing they were able to do that. So I joked with Caleb that we actually got our own private snowmobile tour for free, and we were the only ones on the mountain, so it ended up being a really fun memory. And while we were almost off the lift, Caleb said to me, "Oh, Mommy, how did we do that?" I said, "Well, we didn't do that. God did that because he was taking care of us and watching over us." And sure enough, we got off the lift, found our family, we were safe, dry, had lots of stories to exchange. So that brings me to the scripture text I chose for today, Isaiah 41, verse 10, and I will read it for you now. "Don't panic." This is the Message translation. "Don't panic. I'm with you. There's no need to fear, for I am your God. I'll give you strength. I'll help you. I'll hold you up." So I wanted to use my story of kind of being fearful and doubting to apply that to a lot of situations we find ourselves in our own lives, whether it's an illness or getting a positive test from COVID or losing a job or starting a new job or trying to make your way down a mountain. It's the times that we forget that God's beside us that we start to doubt ourselves, and our mind starts going in the wrong direction, and we end up falling, figuratively and in reality. Looking back on 2020, there were certainly many times where we felt like God wasn't with us, but he was with us the whole time. And that is evident in all the silver linings that I hear about with people sharing, silver linings in my own life, connections that were made that wouldn't have been made otherwise, new things in ministry that we're doing here at the church. There's been so many blessings. Yes, we had loss, and we've lost loved ones and friends and hope and jobs, but there's always something positive to look forward to. We read in the Bible time and time again about that message. So my encouragement to you is to remember that God is always with us. Isaiah 41:10, He will hold us up. So whether you're struggling your way down a bunny slope or a double black or any challenge in your life or something that God's calling you to do that you're just not sure that you can do it, use this to encourage you to keep going, because God is with us. He's ahead of us. He's behind us. He is with us when we become unsteady. We can lean on Him. He is with us when we fall to help us back up. And as long as we remember that and give thanks for that and witness to that, I think we'll have a really good 2021. So Happy New Year, everyone. I hope that 2021 is great for you. It will be as good as you make it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today, and Happy New Year.